Near mint condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
This is Mr. Chris Claremont, a legend.
Melanie goes,
Tired.
time to empty those wallets and fill those shelves, all you mentees. I am the Uncanny Omar. Today on Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions, I'm going to be going over the books that are coming out in April of 2026. Omnis, Epic Collections, DC Finest, Absolute Editions, Compact Editions, Manga, Hardcovers, Trade Paperbacks, whatever it is that is coming in April. Here we go with our monthly budget meeting. And welcome back, everybody. Now, before going any further, I do want to remind people to hit that like button. Please, it goes a long way for us here on the channel. If you want written documentation, we do have a Patreon for that, starting at $1 a month. As a matter of fact, $1 a month is what gets you access to the written documentation, such as this written documentation that my buddy Dynamite and I helped, both of us put together. So, yeah, there are different tiers there on our Patreon. My wife always reminds me that I don't do a good job of promoting it, but here I am, promoting it before we go any further. That's good. Yeah, on me. Now, if you're wondering, wait a second, dude, you usually do this on Fridays. As a matter of fact, I have. For the last few years, I think ever since I started it, with the exception of 1 or 2 times, this video comes out on Friday. This time around, though, there is an exception. And that's because this Friday at noon, we are doing the indie live stream. So all the collected editions for the solicitations in June of 2026. It's going to be me, Domovax, and my buddy Shannon Live will be joining us. Couldn't imagine a better crew. And then anybody else that, of course, Dom and I have invited. But those are going to be the main 3 that will be doing it. And that starts this Friday. We're trying to do it the first Friday of every month, which is why I was like, I can't cross streams. That's going to be crazy. So that's why you're seeing this on Thursday. Knock on wood if everything went smooth. Okay. We've got 4 weeks to talk about because I've already talked about April 1st with March 31st. So that video came out already. Let's talk about these collected editions coming out in April. And we are starting with the week of April 8th from Marvel Comics. We have The Death of Silver Surfer. Wow, way to kick off this month by making it something broody. What? Greg Pak, Sumit Kumar, and this is collecting all 5 issues of this miniseries. It is a standard size hardcover, 128 pages, $22. That cover is beautiful. And we're also getting Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu, Volume 3. We're Out of Here by Jed MacKay, Domenico Carbone. This is collecting issues 11 through 15 of the Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu. Now, Jed MacKay is continuing the series of Moon Knight, so it seems like they're just restarting it and giving it a new title. And he continues to write it. No word yet of a second omnibus. Believe me, I'm excited too. And I hope they restock that first omnibus, or I guess reprinted when the second one comes out. ROM Epic Collection, the original Marvel Years, Volume 4, collecting ROM 48 through 60. ROM Annual Number 3, and this is the big one that I just need to remind people. Incredible Hulk 296. If you're getting the Incredible Hulk Epic Collections, if you're getting the Incredible Hulk Omnis, we're not there yet, but this issue is not collected in those epics, nor in the Masterworks, nor in anything that's been released before, and that is because it has the character of ROM. So, keep that in mind. I don't think they'll ever reprint any of the epics and add this issue in. That's just my way of thinking. I think it's a licensing thing, just like Power Man and Iron Fist. I think this will be the only way to get it. The book has 408 pages, $49.99. What If Into the Multiverse, or Multiverse. Nobody ever told me how to pronounce it. Omnibus Volume 3, I've already done an overview of this one. This is collecting What If 76 through 83, 85 through 114, and the -1 issue. 1,112 pages, $125. Both covers available the same day. Now, from the folks at DC Comics, we are getting Batman, The Dark Knight Returns, the DC Compact Edition. $9.99, 200 pages, all 4 issues of this classic story by Frank Miller, Klaus Janson, and of course, Lynn Varley. And Yeah, not if you've never read this, oh my gosh. There is a reason why a lot of us regard it as a masterpiece or a perfect comic. And Legion of Superheroes 5 years later, Omnibus Volume 2 is coming out. This is the new printing. It is collecting Legion of Superheroes 69 through 70, Legion 69 through 70, Legion of Superheroes 40 through 61, Annual number 4, Legion of Superheroes Annual 5, Legionnaires 1 through 18, Legionnaires Annual number 1, Valor 20 through 23, and Who's Who Update 1993. 1,328 pages. This one is $175. The first printing was $150. Supergirl Being Super is also being reprinted from the folks at DC Comics. Probably has something to do with the movie coming out. This is the Mariko Tamaki and beautiful Joelle Jones book. And it is a standalone alternate reality type of story. And it collects all 4 issues, 208 pages. Now, we are moving into the world of Image Comics with Author Immortal by Frank J. Barbary and Morgan Beam. $16.99 for this book. It doesn't say what it collects, so it could be a standalone graphic novel. The solicitations are a lot different than the PRH solicitations, that's for sure. And we're also getting Everything Dead and Dying, and that is coming out in a trade paperback format. And that one is by Tate Brumble, Jacob Phillips. And Tate Brumble, of course, co-writing Something is Killing the Children. Jacob Phillips making a name for himself. Doesn't even need Sean Phillips, but of course has worked on That Texas Blood and Newburn. And this is collecting Everything Dead and Dying 1 through 5. The book retails for $16.99. Continuing the hardcover collections is Hack and Slash hardcover edition. This is Deluxe Volume 6. This is collecting Secret Origin of Vlad. It has never been collected, so now it's collecting the Secret Origin of Vlad, collecting Hack Slash, Son of Sam Hain. Why did I add an H there? At the wrong place. 1 through 5. Hack Slash Resurrection 1 through 12. Plus Me Without You bonus features. And an all-new 8-page story by Dan Doherty. $49.99. This is, of course, the work of Tim Seeley. Paper Girls is continuing to be reprinted in a backpack edition. So these seem to be more of a smaller scale books. And those seem to be the big hype right now. Seriously. There's also a direct market foil cover. That's crazy. These are $12.99 for the regular edition and $12.99 for the direct market foil cover. Punderworld is coming out from the folks at Top Cow and, of course, Image Comics. And that is by Linda Sajek. This one is $16.99. And we're also getting, speaking of the Sajeks, Sunstone coming out. And this particular edition is $14.99. I think this is the smaller scale books. It doesn't give me the dimensions here. But it is Stepan Sajek and $14.99. From the world of Dark Horse Comics, we are getting the Critical Role Vox Machina Origins Omnibus Series 1 and 2, all in one book, 296 pages, $29.99. You have Jody Hauser, Matthew Colville, Olivia Sampson, Ziak, Chris North, I'm so sorry, Ariana Mayer. The book has a total of 296 pages, $29.99. This is a trade paperback edition. And from Boom Studios, yes, oh, I love this series. Grimm Volume 5 is coming out. Stephanie Phillips, Flaviano, continuing this wonderful series, collecting Grimm 21 through 25, 128 pages, $17.99. Hopefully a deluxe edition Volume 2 it will be out when Volume 6 comes out. From the world of IDW, we are getting Pumpkinheads, and I just interviewed Dave Baker, but this is with Nicole Gao. And this is an original graphic novel, and I cannot wait to read it. Just 216 pages, $19.99. Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic Prime, Volume 3 by Hayden Roebels coming out. And we are also getting Godzilla vs. America, The first collection, Boston, Chicago, Kansas City, Los Angeles. No One is Safe. Done by different creators like Steve Orlando, Mike Costa, Buster Moody, Gabriel Hardman, Dave Baker, Freddie Williams II. Love that guy's artwork. Tim Seeley, Matt Emmons, just to name a few. 200 pages, $23.99. Why did I say it like that? Versus, I was all so serious about this. I guess Godzilla's already destroyed Japan. And now we gotta wreck all the cities in America. Maybe that's the line of thinking. Alright, moving on to Dynamite! Astrid and the Space Cadets. Attack of the Snailians. $16.99 by Alex T. Smith. This looks like an adorable book. Speaking of adorable, another book I did not expect from Dynamite is Blue's Clues and You, It's Your Birthday. It is a landscape type of book, and we're also getting Paw Patrol, Rough and Ready Rescues. Whoa, that is crazy and awesome. I never know what Dynamite is going to collect. It's just cool that they have young kid books, young adult books. Yeah, they got adult books, and they've got all ages. Yeah, I love publishers like that. Okay, moving on to manga, we've got Astro Royale, Volume 5, and that is coming out from the folks at Viz, as well as the Blue Exorcist, Volume 32. Not to be confused with Blue Lock, Episode 7, or the Episode Nagi 7. That is coming out from Kodansha. And we're also getting Dan. Is that how you say it? One of these days I'm going to get it right. Dan. I think I got it. Volume 18. My gosh. Continuing this phenomenal manga by Yukinobu Tatsu. And my brother's loving it. Have y'all seen the new anime trailers? Like Magic Knight Ray. Everything old is new, by the way. Ranma, Magic Knight Ray Earth. And there was another one that I'm like, ooh, that looks up my alley. Anyway. Do Women Need Sex Entertainment? Volume 2 is coming out that week from the folks at Titan Manga. I'm going to go ahead and answer that question. Just as much as men. Yes, equally so. Dungeon Elf, What's a Dungeon Without a Treasure Chest? Is coming out that very same week, and that is a Volume 1. Honey Bee and Lemon Bomb. I love these titles. Not just the long titles, but titles like this. Volume 1 is coming out that very same week, as well as the Ichi the Witch, Volume 2. Isaac Omnibus Volume 6 continues to come out. This is collecting volumes 6 through 12, and... No, I'm sorry, 11 and 12. 6 through 12 would have been ridiculously big. And then we're getting Kinryo Rock Code Amrita, Volume 1. Now, this is being distributed by IDW, but it is being published by the folks at Alien Books. This is by Bingo Morihashi and Manabu Akishige. $12.99, 196 pages. Love Out on a Limb is coming... Why did I say it like that? Love Out on a Limb is coming out that very same week. And we are also getting Plus Size Elf. Oh my gosh, this is a follow-up for Plus Size Elf? What? That's awesome. This is Second Helpings, Volume 5. And that is coming out from the folks at 7 Seas. We are also getting the Rosen Maiden Collector's Edition, Volume 5. These are not hardcovers, but they are big, beautiful books that 7 Seas Entertainment is putting out. And we're getting Super Ball Girls, Volume 3, as well as Space Punch, Volume 5, and from Titan Manga, Tengen Hero Wars, Volume 3. And also, I Won't Let My Mistress Suck My Blood, Volume 2. Is everything... else? Nope, not even gonna finish that joke. Not even gonna do it. Not gonna do it. All right, back to other publishers. We are getting Acid Box That Day by Sarah Kinney. This is $19.99, and that is a trade paperback. We're getting the Atlas Creator Collection, Volume 3, Bill Everett, One Head Too Many, and Other Weird Horror Stories. If you haven't had a chance to read these I really like a lot of the stuff that has never been published before. This is something that perhaps at one time maybe the Marvel Masterworks would have done, but it seems like now that Marvel has outsourced Fantagraphics to do it. And I've done overviews of a lot of these books. This one will be no exception. I'll be doing one. Oh my gosh, it looks awesome. I love horror stories, especially like obscure horror stories that haven't been fully collected. And of course, you have the wonderful essay. I like to call it an essay, but it's a great introduction by Dr. Michael Vasallo. But yes, Bill Everett, $75 for that particular collection. And we have Black Lives Volume 1. This is a trade paperback. Great Minds of Science. We're getting Chorus Wave coming out that very same week. And let me see. Like I said, going through the Lunar website, it's a little hard to tell sometimes. Lorelei's just finishing its AV, so I'm trying to figure out who that publisher is. Really like the simplicity behind that cover, though. Corto Maltese, Fable of Venice, and Other Adventures is coming out in trade paperback. This is $19.99 from the folks at Fantagraphics. I think what they're trying to do is just trying to test the waters before their hardcover releases. Covenant, Volume 5 is coming out by Lisandra Wong. This is collecting episodes, I assume it was a webcomic, 74 through 90, of the hit webtoon Covenant. That one is $24.99. Disney's Greatest Comic Collection Volume 1. Uncle Scrooge, A Little Something Special, and Other Tales of Fiendish Foes. Okay. You had me at Disney's Greatest Comic Collections. You had me at that cover with the Beagle Boys and Magic of the Spell. And then if you look at I'm going to tell you who the creators are. Carl Barks, Don Rosa, Romano Scarpa. So it seems like they are collecting different stories from different eras of Scrooge. You got some from the 50s, the 60s, some from the 80s, and I'm sure you'll have some new stuff in here. Curse Me Kilts! Boy, that was awful. Never doing that again. $59.99. And it is a hardcover. I love the fact that it is a volume 1. Scrooge is just getting so much love. I love it. Japanese Springtime Coloring Book is coming out in a trade paperback format. And we're getting the Lightfall trade paperback volume 4 coming out this same week. And this one has a subtitle of A Place Between. This one is coming out from... Let's see. Nope, doesn't say. Then I can't even tell on the cover, but this is a volume 4. I really like that cover. This is by Tim Probert. And we're getting the Mama Needs a Minute, a candid, funny, all too realistic comic memoir about surviving motherhood. My friend Haley wanted to write a book like this, very similar to this. And this is Mom Life Comics. Oh my gosh, that is perfect for her. She would write down things that the kids would say, and it's just I don't know. I told her we should have made a comic years ago. We're also getting Mark Spears Monsters Volume 1, 1999. That's from Keenspot. And we are getting Post Malone's Big Rig is coming out in a trade paperback edition. There's a direct market exclusive cover too. Rick and Morty versus the Universe is coming out from the folks at Oni Press, and that is coming out in a hardcover format. This is $34.99, and this is collecting Rick and Morty versus the Universe along 3 event tie-in one-shots featuring Summer, Jerry, Beth, Space Beth, and Morty. Daniel Kibblesmith, Alex Ferrer, Jake Black, Jarrett Williams, Fred C. Stressing. Just some of the creators that worked on that book. Riot Force, Tools of the Rich is coming out in a trade paperback format. $39.99. That cover, that's 80s, baby. I like that. Second Shift is coming out in a trade paperback edition by Kit Anderson. And this one is $18.99. We are also getting Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Child coming out in a hardcover format. This one has been published before, but there seems to have been some delays. It is published in a landscape format. We're getting Teodora's Letter Sand, Enslaved Woman's Fight for Family and Freedom. So this one is $24.99. It is being published by the folks at Fantagraphics. We're getting Truman Toad and the Quest for the Perfect Hug. That one is coming out in a hardcover format. That one is by Oren Levy and Ankeku. And we are getting Uncanny X-Men Trading Cards hardcover, the complete series? What? That's okay, wait a second. Is it just the Jim Lee stuff, or is it series 2 and 3? The complete series, all illustrated. Okay, this is the original one, the 1992 set. Oh, that's awesome. I know they've done something similar. I thought they had done this already. Huh. There's a forward by Ed Piskor, so they have done this before. And an introduction by Bob Budiansky. This is published by Abrams Books. And we are also getting the Was That Normal coming out in a trade paperback edition by Alex Potts. And Who Killed Nessie is coming out in a trade paperback edition. And that is by Paul Cornell and Rachel Smith. And The Witch's Egg trade paperback. As well as Youngblood, not to be confused with Rob Liefeld's Youngblood, Volume 2, Weird Times at Quarry Bank University. And no cover yet. Now, if you're interested in any of the books I've talked about so far, check out our sponsor in Canada. BD Cosmos, the Canadian leader in graphic novels. They have a physical storefront in Montreal, Quebec, and their website, bdcosmos.com, offers 25% off your order of over $99 or more, and free shipping everywhere in Canada for every order of $250 or more.
Their shipping care is exceptional. Your books will stay cozy through the rough Canadian weather and arrive to you in near mint condition.
After checkout, let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way, and you'll be added to the monthly $25 gift card raffle. Entries are valid for new and returning customers.
Don't be afraid to call or email them. Ask them questions. Their staff is always happy to help guide you towards the right purchase. Visit their website, bdcosmos.com, for more. BD Cosmos, with rewards and raffles taking care of customers in Canada. Eh?
The week of April 14th or 15th from Marvel Comics, we are kicking it off with Black Widow Modern Era Epic Collection Widowmaker. This is going to have Black Widow Deadly Origin 1 through 4, Black Widow 1 through 8 from 2010, Widowmaker 1 through 4, Fear Itself, Black Widow number 1, Black Widow Saga number 1, material from Enter the Heroic Age number 1, Iron Man Kiss and Kill number 1. So you have the work in here of Paul Cornell and Dwayne Swarzynski, Colin Bunn, Kelly Sue DeConnick, and Marjorie Liu, as well as Jean-Paul Leon, Tom Rainey, Daniel Acuna, Manuel Garcia, David Lopez, Peter Wynn. This is 464 pages, $49.99. Also getting Star Wars Visions. We've had it in a Treasury edition. This collects Visions number 1, as well as Visions by Takashi Okazaki, and then Darth Vader, Black, White, and Red, the Peach Momoko story. So you'll have the Peach Momoko Visions, and then Takashi Okazaki. And this one has 120 pages, $17.99. Star Wars Jedi Knight Volume 2, A Higher Path, is coming out. This is collecting Jedi Knight 6 through 10, 120 pages, $17.99. But not done with Star Wars, because Star Wars is getting a lot of love this week. We're getting Star Wars We Are One, a Mandalorian Little Golden Book. And Uncanny X-Men by Kieran Gillen is coming out this week. Both covers, and this will collect Sword 1 through 5, Uncanny X-Men 534.1, and 535 to 544, X-Men Regenesis Uncanny X-Men when it was relaunched for the first time, 1 through 20, and AVX Consequences 1 through 5. 1,000 pages, $125. From the world of DC Comics, we are getting a direct market edition of All-Star Superman. The deluxe edition, 328 pages, $39.99, collecting all 12 issues of this maxi series. And Batman Gotham by Gaslight, The Kryptonian Age, 216 pages, $19.99, collecting Batman Gotham by Gaslight, The Kryptonian Age. This is by Andy Daigle and Leonardo Fernandez. And Batman Sword of Azrael, the deluxe edition, by Dennis O'Neil, Joe Quesada, Woo! I can't wait for my top 10 this Sunday. That one's still coming out this Sunday. Sword of Azrael 1 through 4, and Azrael and Ash number 1. Now that may not mean anything to anyone else, but the fact that we're getting an Ash comic in a deluxe edition, that's the character that was created by Joe Quesada and Jamie Palmiotti. Wonderful artwork in there. Birds of Prey Volume 4, On the Run. This is the Kelly Thompson series that unfortunately has been put on hiatus, or I'm sorry, came to an end because, well, there are other things that both of the creators wanted to work on, but Collecting Birds of Prey 21 through 26, Black Canary, Harley Quinn, Cassandra Cain, Big Barda, Zealot, and Barbara Gordon. 208 pages, $19.99. You know, that would make a fine omnibus one day. Booster Gold, the complete 2007 series, book 3. Now we have Dan Jurgens, of course the creator of Booster Gold, coming to the series, with Keith Giffen and Chris Batista working on these issues of Booster Gold 32 to 47, Time Masters Vanishing Point 1 through 6. Love it. No issues left behind. 520 pages, $39.99. DC Finest, The Hangman Never Loses, collecting Weird Western Tales 12 through 17, All-Star Western 2 through 8, 10 and 11, Super DC Giant number 15, Tomahawk 130 to 140, 600 pages, $39.99. Man, that art in there, some Neil Adams stuff in there. That one will probably make it on my top 10 list this month's gonna be hard. No, I'm sticking to 10. I promise. Sticking to 10 this month. Okay. Green Lantern Corps Starbreaker Supremacy is coming out that very same week. That is by Jeremy Adams. Sarmanico doing the artwork. This is collecting Green Lanterns 25 through 27 and Green Lantern Corps 7 through 9. The book has 184 pages, retailing for $19.99. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, the deluxe edition direct market exclusive. If you're wondering what direct market exclusives mean, it means that these covers, it has the exact same content as before. It has all 8 issues. But this will just have a new cover. A brand new cover that is exclusive to comic book stores or places online like, our sponsors like cheapgraphicnovels.com, bdcosmos.com, waltzcomicshop.com, but also places like panelboundbooks.com, instocktrades.com, talesofwonder.com, dcbs.com, and of course your local comic book store. Superman Volume 1 is also getting a direct market cover. This is a hardcover, 184 pages, collecting the first 5 issues of the 2023 series. It does feature a new dust jacket by Dan Mora. Looks a lot closer to the movie counterpart. 184 pages, $29.99. And it is a standard hardcover. The Flash, The Road to Rebirth Omnibus. I love the fact that that's what they're calling this. This, by the way, is The Flash New 52 Era, Volume 2. So the one that got started by Francis Manapul, this would be the second volume to that. Collecting The Flash 25 through 52, The Flash Annual number 3, Secret Origin 7, Flash Futures End number 1, and DC Universe Rebirth number 1. You have, this book is 904 pages, $125. From the folks over at Image Comics, we are getting Artificial. This is Maria Lovett's Artificial, $16.99 for this book. It doesn't say, I just assume based on her other work that this probably has mature themes. Just kind of letting people know. We're also getting Fine Print, Volume 3 by Stepan Sajek, $19.99. As well as G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, Compendium Volume 3. Now, with these books, there's always 2 different covers. You have the standard cover, and then you have the direct market cover. The standard cover is supplied by Andy Kubert, and it's the one that's available everywhere. And then you have the direct market cover. Let's see. I think that, well, it's crediting. Oh, wait, I think that is actually Andy Kubert. Classic Andy Kubert. Anyway, this collects G.I. Joe Real American Hero 77 to 113, as well as G.I. Joe Special Missions. I love that they are putting those books in between issues in there. $64.99. Both covers available the same day. Saga. Finally. Oh my gosh, it's been years. but it is finally coming out with... Oh, this is going to be difficult. This is going to be difficult to choose 10. Why did I stick to my stupid guns and say just 10? Saga is coming out with a deluxe hardcover volume 4. Finally. Collecting issues 55 through 72, $49.99. And we're also getting Spawn Origins volume 12 that very same week. And that is collecting Spawn 191 to 196. Whilce Portacio, Todd McFarlane, $16.99. From the world of Boom Studios, the Lumberjane books continue to be reprinted in a new format. And actually, this is the ones that people kickstarted. Shannon Waters, Andy Stevenson, Kat Lay, and Gus Allen. This one is collecting issues 37 to 48, $29.99. I want to say they did the first 3 hardcovers, maybe the first 4. Regardless, if you want them all to match, if you're one of those people, you have to get the new books. IDW is releasing Hotel Limbo, Volume 1, coming out that week by Ben Harrell. And this one is 272 pages, $19.99. The Art of Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is finally coming out that day. I cannot wait for that book. I'm a sucker for Ninja Turtles. Every incarnation. I don't care what the art looks like. I just got the NECA 2012 Ultimate Editions. Oh my gosh, those things are awesome. I don't know. I think it's just something special about it because every generation has their own Ninja Turtles. I grew up with the 80s cartoon. I know there are people that grew up with the 2003 Nickelodeon. My daughters were raised in the 2012 series. There's Rise of the Ninja Turtles, and there's the movies. I'm a big fan of Ninja Turtles. $39.99, 320 pages. Star Trek Lower Decks Volume 2, Mixed Signals is coming out. And this is collecting issues 7 through 12 of the series. 144 pages, $19.99. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin 2, Re-Evolution. The Covers is coming out. So this is collecting the covers of the series. 120 pages, $29.99. From the world of Dynamite, we're getting Darkwing Duck Omnibus Volume 2 coming out this week. This is... Oh, I've done an overview of this. This is Cow and Fowl. We're also getting Volume 3. Look at that Jay Lee cover. This is Heroes and Villains. $69.99. Some of the stuff is the classic stuff, and some of it is the new series. Speaking of new series, Darkwing Duck Year 1, Part 1 is coming out that same week. Daniel Kibblesmith, Ted Brandt, Rose Stein, $24.99 for the hardcover. The trade paperback, which has the exact same content, is $19.99. Disney Stitch Ohana Means Family Musings Everyday Life hardcover is coming out that very same week. So this one is $14.99 and by Denise Shimbabukuro. Okay. Sorry, I thought it was the one that I had done an overview of just recently. Gargoyles Clan Building is coming out in trade paperback format that same week. And that is one that they did a Kickstarter for, and the hardcovers came out. This one is $39.99, as well as Gargoyles Classic Years. I need to do my overview of that, probably the week that comes out. $39.99 for both books. We are getting Powerpuff Girls Volume 2 Flower Power coming out that very same week. And that is coming out in a hardcover format. But it's not the only way you're going to be able to get it. But first, this one is $19.99 for the hardcover. And the trade paperback edition is $14.99. Collecting issues 4 through 6 of the series. And then we're getting Silverhawks coming out again in 2 formats. There will be a hardcover format, and let me just check here, making sure that I have the right information. The hardcover is $24.99. This collects the same thing, by the way. The trade paperback is $19.99, collecting the first 5 issues of the series by Ed Brisson, George Cambadeas, and then that is a Mark Spears cover. Space Ghost, Johnny Quest, Space Quest is coming out that very same week. And that one will have a hardcover format for $24.99, and the trade paperback is $19.99. And this is by Joe Casey, Sebastian Perez. We are also getting the Space Ghost Season 2, Volume 1, Until the Stars Run Cold, and you can probably guess, Yes, that one does have a trade paperback and a hardcover. Hardcover $24.99, trade paperback $19.99, collecting issues 1 through 6 of the second series. Dynamite's just coming out with a bunch of stuff this week. We are also getting Stitch Volume 1 that same week. Of course, they're catching up, too, because a lot of things were being held at Diamond, and they got to keep on trucking. This is collecting Volume 1 of Evilish Geniuses is what it's called. $19.99 for the hardcover, and then the trade paperback is $14.99. Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, Long Live the Pumpkin Queen graphic novel is coming out that very same week. And that is a hardcover format by Liz Marsman and Alessio Petillo, $22.99. We are getting the Vampirella Archives Volume 5, also coming out that week. And that one is $34.99. As well as the Wizard of Oz, the official film adaptation, coming out that very same week. And both a hardcover and a trade paperback. The hardcover by Sully is $22.99, while the trade paperback is $17.99. And that is from Dynamite Entertainment. We are getting from Manga Bastard webtoon comic, by the way, Volume 4. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but when I see Bastard, I get excited. I'm like, oh, it's Heavy Metal Bastard. No, it's not Heavy Metal Bastard, but this one could still be good. And then we're getting Captain Underpants Manga Volume 1, the first epic manga. That is so cool. Captain Underpants getting manga. Everybody's getting a manga. I love it. Captain Underpants is so popular already here in America, too. Maybe this is kind of expanding it in Japan. This is by Dave Pilkey and Motohiro. $14.99. We are getting Cinnamon Roll Volume 1. There is a hardcover and trade paperback. Now, I need to say something really quick, because when I said Cinnamon Roll, I also looked at this. My daughter is a huge fan of the Sanrio Cinnamon Roll. This is something different. Just keep that in mind. There is a hardcover, and there is a softcover for this. The hardcover is $24.99. The softcover is $19.99 from Rocket Ship Entertainment. Cosmic Censorship is coming out that very same week, and that is a Volume 3. And that one is $13.99, 3 of 5 from Titan Manga. Dear Sister, I've Become a Blessed Maiden, Volume 1 is coming out that same week. And that is being published by the folks at 7 Seas. We are also getting Drawing from Your Memory, Volume 1, coming out that very same week. For Child Life, Volume 1, the start of our secret life as sisters. Gizmo Riser, Volume 1 is coming out. Inside the Tentacle Cave. Now, that could be a party I wouldn't mind getting an invitation to. Although there's tentacles in there. You can't win them all, right? You can't win them all. Okay, moving on to Koharu and Minato, Happy Life with My Girlfriend, Volume 1 is coming out that week. As well as the Charles Soules biography. Looks like it's been moved here. Mecha Ude, Mechanical Arms, Volume 3 is coming out. And continuing the deluxe editions, Mobile Suit Gundam, The Origin Deluxe Edition, Volume 5 is coming out that week. Udon Entertainment is giving us the More Than a Couple But Not Lovers. Volume 2 is coming out, as well as Mr. Mega Man Volume 2. This is bringing out Mushishi Collector's Edition Volume 2. I need to do an overview of Volume. Maybe I'll do it when Volume 2 comes out. And Spider-Man Kizuna Volume 3, as well as Splatoon 3 Splatlands Volume 6. So that's Splatoon 3, the video game. Splatlands Volume 6. Mortifying Ordeal of Being Seen is coming out with a Volume 1. And then Working for God in a Godless World Volume 5 is coming out that very same week. And man, that is a very dramatic title. But it rightly is a dramatic story from what I've read. Okay, now let's move on to other books, because we are looking at Adventure Time Oni Compacts Edition Princess Power coming out that week from the folks at Oni Press. And this one is $9.99. It's their compact comics. Amelia Shadows and the New Head Ghost is coming out in a hardcover format and a trade paperback edition. A lot of people are doing this these days. $17.99 for the hardcover and $12.99 for the trade paperback. We're getting the Ancestral Recall trade paperback that very same week. And that is by Ahoy Comics, Jordan Clark, Atagun Ihan. And doesn't say exactly what it collects. The Art of Shantae is coming out in a hardcover format. That one is being published by the folks at Udon Entertainment. Asterix Collector Hardcover, Volume 6, Asterix and Cleopatra, keeps coming out from the folks at Papercuts. And of course, this is being published by Mad Cave. And that is $19.99. Continues to be $19.99. The complete 2080 Alan Moore, Future Shocks and Other Stories. I cannot wait for this. And yes, it will double dip with a lot of different collections. But man, that stuff in there I have never read. Stuff in there that my viewers have sent me over the years that I have read. Can't wait. And we're getting the Homestead. This is that's cool. It's a nominee for the Mike Wieringo Comic Book Industry Award. Dirk Manning, Les Lyndon Gardner, Colin Johnson, $19.99. And that same week we're getting I Didn't Ask for This. That is coming out in a trade paperback format. And that is by Jenny Wood, Josh Cornelian, $14.99. We are getting the Karl Lagerfeld coming out in a hardcover format. And that is by Alphonse Kaiser and Simon Schwartz. That is by Abrams Book Arts. And we're getting Las Nuevas Aventuras de Intensamente número 2, or I guess volume 2. Sentimientos Enormes. And there is a hardcover and a trade paperback for that. Leo da Vinci Renaissance Kid. Man, there's a lot of books that are coming out in hardcover and in trade paperback format. So Leo da Vinci Trade Paperback Kid is coming out in a hardcover for $17.99 and $12.99 for the trade paperbacks from Papercuts. Richard Hamilton is the artist on that book. Writer-artist, sorry. And we're also getting Lightfall Volume 1, The Girl and the Galdurian. And this is by Tim Probert. $15.99. We're getting Look Into My Eyes, Volume 1, coming out that very same week. And that is a trade paperback by Ruben Rubin, $17.99. And we are getting My Best Friend is an Eldritch Horror trade paperback, Volume 1, coming out that same week. And that one, just to make sure, is $19.99 by Actus and Black Lippies. And we are also getting My Sister, The Freak, coming out that week. That is $15.99 from Danny Jones. And Never Wars is coming out in a trade paperback format. Mad Cave is putting out Nottingham Omnibus trade paperback with Nottingham volumes 1 through 3. So pretty much all 15 issues of Nottingham. $29.99. That's the book I got to announce. If you haven't read it, that book is freaking awesome. Myrtle Detective Notebook is coming out in a hardcover format. And we are getting Racer X trade paperback volume 1. So from the pages of Speed Racer comes Racer X. And this one is by Mark Russell, Nuno Plati, $17.99. We are getting Run in a trade paperback edition coming out that very same week. And that is Will Eisner winner. Okay. John Lewis, Andrew Aiden. And this is being published by the folks at Abrams Books. And we are getting Speed Racer. Speaking of Speed Racer, The World of Speed Racer Volume 1 coming out that very same week. And that's cool that both Speed Racer and Racer X is coming out on the same week. That is by David Pepose and David Tinto. Collecting the first 5 issues plus the free Comic Book Day special, $17.99. The Superman hardcover, The Definitive History, is coming out, and that one is not being published by DC. That's why it's over here. And then we're also getting the Temporal trade paperback coming out that very same week. And that one is being released by Mad Cave Studios, Stephanie Williams, Isaiah Fulmore, and it doesn't say what it collects in here. And we're getting Twin Lotuses coming out in a hardcover format. And that one is being published, let's see if we can figure this one out, by Oni Press. Okay, $29.99. Now, if you're interested in any of the books I talked about, and you live in the EU, check out our sponsor.
If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltscomicshop.com, and you can use the code Near Mint Condition at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
The week of April 21st or 22nd from Marvel Comics, we kick it off with Mortal Thor by Al Ewing, Volume 1. And this is by Pasquale Ferry as well, doing the artwork, collecting the first 5 issues of the series, 128 pages, $17.99. And this, of course, is the follow-up to Immortal Thor. Star Wars The High Republic Phase 3, Trials of the Jedi Omnibus. Both covers available the same day. Collecting Star Wars The High Republic 1 through 10, that is Phase 3. Star Wars Revelations number 1, The High Republic Story. Star Wars The Acolyte Kelnaka number 1. Star Wars The High Republic Shadows of the Starlight 1 through 4. Star Wars The High Republic Fear of the Jedi 1 through 5. Star Wars The High Republic The Finale number 1, The Beacon. Kevin Scott, Charles Soule, James Toe, Ario Anindito, Laura Braga, Marika Cresta, and David Messina are some of the creators behind this. And 528 pages, $100. Star Wars The Mandalorian Seasons 1 and 2 are going to be collected in one thick trade paperback. Collecting Star Wars The Mandalorian 1 through 8 and Star Wars The Mandalorian Season 2 1 through 8. 544 pages, $49.99. Rodney Barnes, the writer. Georges Genty, who would think always does an amazing job doing the artwork of the internal artwork of the way the characters are supposed to look within the series. And Steve Cummings. 544 pages, $49.99. Ultimate Fantastic Four Omnibus Volume 2. Both covers available the same day. Ultimate Fantastic Four 33 through 60, Ultimate Fantastic Four Annual number 2, Ultimate X-Men Fantastic Four number 1, Ultimate Fantastic Four X-Men number 1, Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Fantastic Four Annual number 1, Ultimate Fantastic Four Ultimate X-Men Annual number 1, and Ultimatum Fantastic Four Requiem. This is the Mike Carey era, and also the Aaron Ellie Coletti, Joe Pulaski, Joe Pukoski, but it also has artwork in here from Pasquale Ferry, Scott Collins, Mark Brooks, Tyler Kirkham, Stuart Immonen, just to name a few of the creators. 896 pages, $100. Ultimate X-Men Epic Collection, Volume 2. This one is World Tour. Collecting Ultimate X-Men 13 through 25. 336 pages, $42.99. And from the world of DC Comics, Animal Man by Tom Veitch and Steve Dillon Omnibus coming out. Oh yes, this is collecting Animal Man 27 through 50, Suicide Squad 58, War of the Gods number 3. Chas Strug, Steve Dillon, Steve Pugh, Jeff Isherwood are some of the other artists. And this one is the follow-up to the Grant Morrison era. And 688 pages, $100. Batman Gotham by Gaslight, A League for Justice by Andy Diggle and Leonardo Fernandez. This is collecting Batman Gotham by Gaslight, A League for Justice 1 through 6. and 216 pages, $29.99 for the hardcover. DC Finest is releasing Batman: A Death in the Family, collecting Batman 423 to 429, Batman Annual number 12, Batman the Cult 1 through 4, a masterpiece by itself, Detective Comics 590 to 595, Detective Comics Annual number 1. Yo, I got like top 10 books from the DC era alone. Like the DC catalog is just firing on all cylinders. Is that what I said in my damn beginning? I think it's one of my intros. Anyway, Robin the Bronze Age Omnibus. This is the new printing, collecting Batman 192, 202, 203, 227, 229 to 231, 234 to 236, 239, 240 to 242, 244, 245, 248, 250, 252, 254, 259, 333, 337 to 339, 341 to 343, Detective Comics 390 to 391, 394, 395, 398, 2403, 445, 447, 450, 451, 481, 485, 481 to 485, sorry. Batman Family 1, 3, 4 through 9, 11 through 20, World's Finest Comics 200, DC Comics Presents 31 and 58, 912 pages, $125. Not the only new edition, because we're also getting JLA Salvation Run. This is a really interesting one that we're getting. This is the maxi series. It was 8 issues, 192 pages, 1999. Bill Willingham, Leela Sturgis, and Sean Chen doing the art in this book. And it took place during the JLA era of Brad Meltzer. Superman the Kryptonite Spectrum is coming out in a hardcover format, 184 pages, collecting all 5 issues of this, by W. Maxwell Prince and Martin Morasso. So if you're a fan of Ice Cream Man, look at that, $29.99. From the world of Image Comics, we are getting G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, Deluxe Edition, Book 1. This is kind of crazy because I didn't think they were going to be doing this. We have the Kickstarter for the G.I. Joe compendiums that are coming out, and those are smaller case books. And this is a continuation of that. It is issues 301 to 310. So we had the first box set, which was the Marvel era, and now we're having a Kickstarter for the second box set. And those compendiums are standard size. The deluxe editions are oversized. I'm curious how this era has been, because I'm a huge fan of Larry Hama. The artwork in here is by, Paul Pelletier. It's doing some of the artwork. I love that guy's art. Chris Mooneyham and Tony Cordos. Francesco Segala. Okay. Brad Walker doing the colors. This might be pretty badass. I have to check that out. Both covers, by the way, available the same day. You have the Andy Kubert cover and the direct market cover. Both of them are available the same day. Lost Fantasy Trade Paperback Volume 2 is coming out that same day. And this is by Kurt Perez and Luca Casalanguida Maxidalo, collecting issues 5 through 8 of the series. This one retailing for $16.99. We are getting No Man's Land coming out that very same week. And that is by Szymon Krudansky. And this is collecting No Man's Land 1 through 4. And $16.99 for that book as well. Sisterhood, A Hyde Street Story. Ooh, some Ghost Machine stuff. Okay. What is this? Is this another one of those books that is spitting out of this series? So this is by Mattel Schultz and Layla Lace and Alex Sinclair. It is the 52-page It Happened on Hyde Street Devour one-shot. And this is $16.99. Interesting. Okay. I don't know if it's going to... I assume it's going to have more than that. And we are also getting Spawn Rat City Volume 2 coming out that same day. Nothing is stopping Spawn, man. That dude is just blowing up. His entire freaking, universe is blowing up. This is by Erica Schultz, Z. Carlos, and J. David Ramos, collecting issues 7 through 12. Trade paperback format, $16.99. Dark Horse Comics, we are getting Star Wars Hyperspace Stories, Tides and Terror, coming out that same week. And this is collecting Tides of Terror, issues 1 through 4. 112 pages, $19.99. We're getting Creepy Presents Richard Corbin. And you have stories in here from Doug Minch. And this is just collecting the Richard Corbin stuff. Kind of like what they did with the Bernie Wrightson collection. This is in trade paperback, 352 pages, $29.99. The EC Archives is coming out in a trade paperback edition with Panic, Volume 1. Collecting issues 1 through 6, including the banned early issues. This has been collected before in hardcover format, and now it is coming out in trade paperback. And this is a kind of, well, really it's riding on the coattails of Mad Magazine, and kind of doing their own thing at their own studio, too, at their own publishing company. We have the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rise of Dark Spectre coming out from Boom Studios. I find it interesting that they chose the cover with Alpha 5. Paperback, 368 pages, collecting Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 101 and 110, Power Rangers Unlimited The Coinless #1, and Power Rangers Unlimited Hyperforce #1. And from the world of IDW, Sonic the Hedgehog Volume 21. Reprise is coming out, collecting issues 79 to 83 of Sonic the Hedgehog. And this is by Ian Flynn, Evan Stanley, Adam Bryce Thomas. As well as Godzilla. Here there be so much Godzilla coming out. I love it. Frank Terry, Angel Hernandez. This is 120 pages, $17.99. From the world of Dynamite, we are getting The Art of Vampirella, The Dynamite Years, hardcover, Volume 2. I had no idea there was a hardcover Volume 1 that came out. Man, that is so cool. So I'm kind of taken back by the fact that, how did I miss The Art of Vampirella Volume 1? So this has got a Terry Dodson cover there, $39.99. We are also getting Barbarella. This is by Blake Northcutt, Anna Morozova, and Eric Blake, collecting Barbarella 1 through 5, $19.99. Gargoyles. This is where Bad Guys, the trade paperback, is coming out. Or I guess in this week is coming out. And just to make sure that this is the same, I think this is the same material as the hardcovers that they released, because this is Volume 3, yeah. So Bring On the Bad Guys. From the 90s, $29.99 for the trade paperback. From Titan Comics, finally making a return, Titan Comics. They didn't have anything for the first 3 weeks, but from Titan Comics, we are getting the Heatseeker Exposed, a Guns Honey series, trade paperback Volume 1. Now, what is interesting about this is it not only just has one cover, but it's got 3 covers. So you saw that cover there. That's the regular edition by Lucio Parillo. And then there's a direct market cover by Art Germ that is coming out. And these all are the same price, by the way. And this is $17.99. And I do believe all 3 covers, and this one here by Derek Chu, are $17. God bless America! Woo! Wasn't expecting that angle. $17.99. Titan Comics coming back with a bang. Look at all those. You see how big those bullet shells are? Anyway. Next up is Rebel Moon Nemesis Volume 1. This is a trade paperback edition, and this one will also have 2 covers. You have Kyle New doing the regular edition cover, and then the direct market. I assume both of these will have the same content. And then the direct market cover is done by Danny Earls. And yeah, both of them will have the same content. $17.99, Gail Simone, Federico Bertoni. Available the same day. And RuneScape, Untold Tales of God Wars, trade paperback Volume 1 is coming out that same week from Titan Comics. This collects issues 1 through 4, plus the free Comic Book Day 2023 special. Now, moving on to manga. From Viz, we got Bug Ego coming out with a Volume 1. And this one is by One and art by Kyoto Shitara. 216 pages, $14.99. Cheese Sweet France is coming out that very same week. And that one is being published by the folks at Kodansha. And my daughter, my youngest daughter, Adjectiveless Alicia, just loves these little books. And it brings back so many memories. This is printed through their vertical imprint line, but it's still Kodansha that is coming out with them. Drifting Dragons continues with a volume 17. And Elegant Courtly Life of the Tea Witch, volume 3, is coming out that same week. And everything for Demon King Evalogia is coming out with a volume 1 that very same week. And we're getting Hide and Seek in trade paperback format. This is from the folks, I think this is Living the Line if I'm not mistaken. Naono Yoshiko is the mangaka behind this. Ooh man, that cover, my gosh. We're getting Infinity T-Force volume 7 from the Nakama Press. Those are the folks at Mad Cave that are publishing those books. And we are getting the Killing Me, Killing You, volume 1, coming out that very same week. My Darling Devilish Daughter is coming out that same week with a volume 1. We're getting Plus Size Adventures in Love, volume 3, coming out that very same week. As well as Red River continuing in an omnibus format, the 3-in-1 edition, with a volume 7. The Condemned Villainess goes back in time and aims to become the ultimate villain. Volume 6 coming out that same week. $13.99 from the folks at 7 Seas. Unemployed Killer Support Group is also coming out that week. Now, from other publishers, we're getting All the Cameras in My Room, coming out in a hardcover format. And that one is, let me make sure, that one looks to be by Michael DeForge. And that one is being published by the folks at Drawn and Quarterly. Art and Beauty, hardcover, drawings by R. Crumb, is coming out that very same week. And that is being published by the folks at Fanatic Graphics. We are getting Babysitter's Club Volume 19, Dawn on the Coast. Biker Mice from Mars, Volume 1, Red Planet Panic is coming out that very same week. And just want to make sure who's publishing this one. Is it? Oh, it is Oni Press. Okay. Melissa Flores and Danielle Guette. Melissa Flores had been doing some of the Power Ranger, actually a lot of the Power Ranger stuff. Bug Bites is coming out in a trade paperback edition. And that's by Corrine Roberts. We are also getting Clock Hands coming out in a trade paperback edition. And we're getting the Eat Your Young trade paperback coming out that very same week. What a dark title. Maybe this is a dark book. Maybe it deserves to have that title, but this is by Mad Cave by Brian Buccellato and Mattia Monaco. Okay. And we're also getting the Essentials hardcover, Volume 2, Bill Sienkiewicz, the premiere edition. And this is from the folks at Lab Press, $49.99. They put out some great books. I really like that first story. It's about a bunch of aliens invading, the stuffed animals. Hal Foster's Prince Valiant sketchbook, Volume 2, and illustrated memoirs coming out that week. I'm a huge fan of this series. I think there's a lot of love and care that went into this. And Volume 1 made it in my top 15 collected editions last year. So this will probably continue. This is from Fanatic Graphics. And Brian Kane is the editor on this book. Just putting a big, beautiful book together like this is not an easy task. It is years in the making. We are also getting the In Phantoms coming out in a hardcover format that same week. And let me see how much that one is. That one is $29.99. It is by Jim Bishop, being published by the folks at Oni Press. And we are getting the Judge Dredd, Rend and Tear with Tooth and Claw coming out in trade paperback format from Rebellion 2000 AD, $24.99. I'm actually going to be talking to those guys sometime in May about how Lunar is going to be distributing their books. Can't wait for that conversation. We're getting the Lead City coming out in a trade paperback edition. And this one here is Eric Borden and Kyle Bremond, being published by Magnetic Press. And we're getting Mark Spears' Monsters coming out in a hardcover format. You saw the trade paperback coming out a week before then. Again, you know, dates are always subject to change. Monarch Files hardcover, a Monsterverse manual coming out that very same week. Orla is coming out in a trade paperback edition. This is by John Lees and Sally Cantirino, published by Mad Cave Studios. Palookaville Volume 25 is coming out that same week. And we are getting the Penny and the Yeti hardcover and a trade paperback. And the hardcover is $17.99. This is from Paper Cuts. And the trade paperback is $12.99. We are getting Rabagoo Race. Not sure why I had a hard time saying that word. This is by Goresh. And also that same week, we're getting Rick and Morty 10th Anniversary Omnibus Volume 5. I believe this is the last one. And my overview of this will be coming out sometime, probably in the next week or so. Because I did an overview of all 5. I wanted to give it a spotlight because a lot of people have been asking me what it was exactly. Roy Thomas, A Life in 4 Colors, 1940 to 1966. Is coming out that week. And this is Roy Thomas. Artwork in here by Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, Jerry Ordway. So I'm sure it's a biography on Roy Thomas. Secret Steam Society of Music is coming out in a hardcover and a trade paperback edition. And this hardcover is, just to make sure, $19.99. This is from Paper Cuts. And the trade paperback is $14.99. Trevor Mueller, Christian Colbert. We are also getting Sherlock Holmes and the Empire Builders trade paperback, The Genie, coming out that very same week. And that is being published by the folks at Mad Caves, Joel Meadows. We are getting the Skull Kickers Volume 3 Compact Attack Edition coming out that week. I believe this wraps up the series, collecting issues 24 to 34. I hope they come out with like a big hardcover of the entire series. This is being published by Oni Press, Jim Zub, Adam Warren, Todd DeZago, Ron Mars, Edwin Huang, Kevin Raganet, Joy Han. And we're getting the Smurfs Village hardcover, Volume 5. And this is $12.99 for the hardcover, $7.99 for the trade paperback. We are getting Star Wars Icons hardcover, Darth Vader. I guess when you think of Star Wars, Darth Vader is definitely one of the icons. And that is by Anthony Bresnikan. Looks like it's a Magnetic Press book. Interesting. Star Wars Mazes is coming out in a trade paperback edition. We're also getting the Strontium Dog Search and Destroy Volume 5 coming out in a hardcover format. Man, I love these books. I need to do an overview of, what was that? I did volumes 1, 2, and 3. I think I need to do an overview of 4 and 5. We're getting, by the way, Strontium Dog, like, it's Rebellion 2000 AD. So if you're a fan of Judge Dredd, strongly suggest checking that one out. And Sublime 5 At the Door is coming out from Ryan Caddy. This is by Z2 Entertainment, $20. And also that same week, we're getting the Voyage de Gourmet en Español coming out in a trade paperback edition, as well as Young Shadow and the Watchdogs. That one is also coming out in a trade paperback format. And just to double check, that one is by Fantagraphics. Ben Sears is the creator of that book. Amazing Spider-Man Modern Era Epic Collection Sins Past is what's kicking off this last week of the month. Written by J. Michael Straczynski, drawn by John Romita Jr., Mike Deodato Jr., and Mark Brooks. Collecting Amazing Spider-Man, 503 to 518, 509 the director's cut. 408 pages, $49.99. If you haven't read this era, if you've never read, and you've been enjoying J. Michael Straczynski's, well, I'll leave it to you to find out if you enjoy it or not. Okay, Predator Kills the Marvel Universe. Collecting Predator Kills the Marvel Universe 1 through 5. Benjamin Percy, Marcelo Ferreira, Daniel Picotio, and 120 pages, $17.99. He's done. He's done trying to kill characters one by one. He said he's going to kill the entire Marvel Universe. Star Wars Han Solo Hunt for the Falcon is coming out this week. This is Collecting Star Wars Hunt for the Falcon 1 through 5. Ronnie Barnes, Ramon Rosanas, 120 pages, $17.99. Uncle Scrooge, Earth's Mightiest Duck is coming out this week. Collecting Uncle Scrooge, Earth's Mightiest Duck 1 through 4. Written by Jason Aaron, Mahmoud Azrar, Ciro Cangialoso, and Giuseppe Camuncoli are some of the artists that are attached to that particular book. Now, this is the week that Dakin, the Dark Wolverine Omnibus, was supposed to come out, but that has been delayed until May, the first week of May. From DC Comics, Absolute Batman Volume 1, The Zoo. This is the direct market exclusive, Jim Lee. This is the hardcover, 192 pages, $24.99, collecting Absolute Batman 1 through 6. Not the only Jim Lee direct market exclusive, Absolute Superman Volume 1, Last Dust of Krypton, collecting the first 6 issues of Absolute Superman with a Jim Lee cover. And then, you guessed it, Absolute Wonder Woman Volume 1, the last Amazon direct market cover, collecting the first 7 issues by Kelly Thompson and Hayden Sherman, and $24.99. The Batman by Chip Zdarsky Omnibus is coming out this week. Collecting Batman 125 to 138, Catwoman 57 through 58, Batman Urban Legends 1 through 6, Batman Catwoman The Gotham War Battle Lines number 1, Batman Gotham War Scorched Earth, and Batman Catwoman The Gotham War Red Hood 1 and 2. 960 pages, $125. And there is a near mint condition cover for this that you can only get through Walt's Comic Shop. It's the cover that I chose, but they couldn't put the near mint condition logo on it, and that's completely cool. But it was still really cool that I got to choose it. And we may do something like that again, where you can get the cover exclusively through Cheap Graphic Novels, Walt's Comic Shop, and BD Cosmos. Okay, let's continue with Batman: The Brave and the Bold. Tomorrow's Heroes. Hayden Sherman, Kevin Scott, Mark Russell, Travis Mercer. Collecting The Brave and the Bold 14 through 20, $17.99, 152 pages. DC Finest, The Joker, The Last Haha is coming out. This is collecting Batman 251, 260, 286, 291 to 294, 321, Detective Comics 475 to 476, 504, Justice League of America 77, Wonder Woman 280 to 283, Brave and the Bold 111, 118, 129 to 130, 141, and The Joker 1 through 10. 552 pages, $39.99. Justice League Unlimited Volume 2, The Omega Act by Mark Waid, Jeff Loeb, Dan Mora, collecting Justice League Unlimited 9 through 11, Justice League Dark Tomorrow Special Number 1, and Justice League The Omega Act Special. 136 pages, $24.99 for the hardcover, $17.99 for the trade paperback. Justice League vs. Godzilla vs. Kong, Volume 2, Brian Buccellato, Christian Deuce. This is a hardcover for 240 pages, collecting the 6-issue limited series, $29.99. The Omega Man is coming back to print by Tom King, the deluxe edition, and this is collecting all 12 issues of the Omega Man, and 304 pages, $49.99. We're also getting the Teen Titans by Jeff Johns Compendium Volume 1, collecting Teen Titans 1 through 28, the half-issue Beast Boy 1 through 4, Outsiders 24 and 25, Teen Titans Young Justice Graduation Day 1, Teen Titans Outsiders Secret Files number 1 from 2003, Teen Titans Legion Special number 1, Supergirl number 2, Teen Titans Outsiders Secret Files 2005, DC Special The Return of Donna Troy 1 through 4, Teen Titans The Half Issue number 1, and Legends of the DC Universe 80-page giant number 2. 1,326 pages. The cover there is by Michael Turner, $59.99. From the world of Image Comics, we are getting Final Boss is coming out in a trade paperback edition from Image Comics by Tyler Kirkham. This is collecting the first 5 issues, $16.99. Also from Image Comics, we are getting Redcoat in deluxe edition, volume 2. Or, no, sorry, volume 1. There's only one volume so far, sorry. $59.99, collecting the first 14 issues of Redcoat. Jeff Johns, Brian Hitch, Andrew Curry. I've read this in trade paperback, and I cannot wait for this book. Oh my gosh. And in beautiful hardcover edition, in an oversized format, absolutely. Hell yes. Spawn! Oh my goodness. We've talked about so much Spawn, but now we are talking about Violator. This is by Mark Andreyko, Peter Kowalski. This is collecting Violator issues 1 through 6. It is $29.99, and it is a trade paperback. Transformers Deluxe Edition Book 2 is coming out that same week. Jorge Corona, and there's a Mike Spicer cover. So it does have 2 covers, much like the Volume 1 had an Autobot and had a Decepticon cover. The direct market cover this time around, though, is the Autobot cover featuring Ultra Magnus, and the standard cover is featuring Megatron. This one collects Transformers 13 through 24, and the Energon Universe Special 2024 and 2025, $49.99 for both covers. This is when the Youngblood Vault Edition has been pushed to. So hopefully that will come out this time around, collecting Youngblood 1 through 4. It's the art edition, and $150. Now, from Dark Horse Comics, a lot of books catching up for the couple of missing weeks. We have Tomb Raider Colossal Volume 3 coming out this week, collecting Tomb Raider 1 through 18, Tomb Raider The Beginning, Tomb Raider Volume 2 1 through 12, Tomb Raider Survivor's Crusade 1 through 4, Tomb Raider Inferno 1 through 4, Lara Croft and the Frozen Omen 1 through 5. So this was originally published by Dark Horse Comics from 2013 to 2018. 1,144 pages, $99.99. Another big collection we're getting is the Ghost Compendium Volume 2. This one collects Ghost 1 through 11, Dark Horse DHP Jr. from 1999, Ghost Series 2, 12 through 22, Dark Horse Extra 19 through 22, Dark Horse Presents Annual 2000, Dark Horse Presents 2, 13 through 15, Ghost in Smoke and Din 1 through 4, and Ghost Series 3, 1 through 12. 992 pages and $59.99. Nocturnals, The Sinner's Path is coming out from Dan Brereton. This is collecting the 4-issue miniseries, 136 pages, $19.99. Archie versus Minor Threats, was not expecting this crossover. Patton Oswalt, Jordan Bloom, Timmy Heeg, and Scott Koblish. Working on this 4-issue miniseries, collected here, 120 pages, $19.99. Oh my gosh. Nerd Inferno, The Essential Evan Dorkin, collecting Milk and Cheese, Eltonville Club, and Dork by Eisner Harvey, award-winning Evan Dorkin. And this one is a trade paperback for $34.99. Some of these books have been out of print for years. Stimulus is coming out from Daniel Friedman and Robert Samelin. This is for mature audiences, 184 pages, $22.99. And we are also getting the Trailer Park Warlock Volume 1 from Matthew Rainwater. This is a trade paperback for $39.99. And from the world of Boom Studios, Power Rangers Prime Volume 3 is coming out by Melissa Flores. Michael Yeague, collecting Power Rangers Prime 9 through 12. 112 pages, $18.99. The Killer Affairs of the State 2 is coming out from Mats, illustrated by Luke Giacomon. And this is translated by Edward Govan. And this is a hardcover collecting The Killer Affairs of the State 1 through 6. $24.99, 192 pages. And from IDW, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Booyakasha Book 1 is coming out that week. What exactly is this particular book? Well, this is the Eric Burnham, $24.99 for this trade paperback, by the way, taking place in the 2013 era of Ninja Turtles. Then we're getting another one of these classic collections, IDW classics, that they are reprinting in a small format, and this is the Rocketeer Thrills, Spills, and Chills. Collecting over 350 pages in this small digest size 6x9. $13.99. And from the world of Dynamite, DuckTales Volume 1. The Four Corners of Your World is coming out. Love that cover. There is a hardcover for $24.99 and a trade paperback for $19.99, collecting the first 6 issues of this new series, plus a cover gallery, which you got me on the cover gallery. Now, there's also the Thundercat Classic Years Collection Omnibus. This is one that was supposed to come out a few months ago, but it looks like there were some delays. So this is the one that I did put on my must buy if you like the classic stuff. Now it is coming out in a hardcover format that will collect all the issues. Both covers available the same day, unless, knock on wood, no more delays. And then the trade paperback edition, which is $49.99. This one collects issues 13 through 24, and that is volume 2. So the hardcover is $124.99 for the entire run. And from the world of manga, we continue Ashita no Joe, Fighting for Tomorrow, Volume 5. Still coming out in these hardcover formats. Loving that book. Loving that series. Backstabbed in a backwater dungeon. My party tried to kill me, but thanks to an infinite gacha, I got level 9,999 friends, and I'm out for revenge. Volume 11. Woo! These titles are wild, coming out of Japan. They don't care if that title is going to fit or not fit on that cover. Blue Lock Omnibus Volume 2 is also coming out. I am curious how people are picking this up. Are you getting the original tankobon, or are you getting the Omnibus editions or the box sets? And would you pick up a hardcover of it if it came out? No. So, knowing me, probably. Because I like that book. Doggo Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. And that one is being published by the folks over at Seven Seas. This one is by Hikari Komaru and Ryuki Onuma. $14.99. And Fangirl, the manga complete box set, is coming out that very same week. This is by Rainbow Rowell. And it was an original Viz published book here in America. This will have 896 pages. All 4 volumes are collected in this box set. $59.99. Now, of course, it's not just Rainbow Rowell working on this, but it's an adaptation of her book. But it's adapted by Rainbow Rowell with Sam Maggs and illustrated by Gami Nam. I remember many years ago, my wife, the Astonishing Melanie, did an early review of Volume 1. Grendizer You, the Inception Volume 1 coming out. We need to talk about this series. Rent a Girlfriend, Volume 36. I have the first box set, and I am holding strong that they will continue Rent a Girlfriend in box set editions. What is going on with that? I really thought we were going to have more of that series collected from Kodansha and box sets. Did the first one not sell enough? Do I need to go and pick up the eventual out-of-print on tankobons? My Lover is just too innocent to handle. This is being published by the folks at Yen Press, as well as My Super Cute Black Mage coming out that same week. And this one is $13 for this particular edition. And we're getting the Our Party Nearly Wiped and Then Everything Went Downhill Volume 1 coming out that same week. That one is $16 from Yen Press. And also the You Can't Escape from Mizu Dako-chan Volume 1. Megame is the author or the mangaka behind this. This one is $13. And we are getting the Kiryu Fan Club Volume 1 coming out that very same week, as well as JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Purple Smoke Distortion coming out. This is a hardcover, 264 pages. And Kohi Kadono, original concept and art by Hirohiko Araki. So, Through the Sacrifice of Many in Part 5. Okay. 264 pages, $28. So it looks like it's a spin-off. Merit and the Egyptian God Volume 1 is coming out. Toxic Super Beast Volume 3. And Tamamori's Fantasies Never Stop. Woo, Tamamori, what are we fantasizing about, girl? This one is $14.99. Ghost Ship, I should have known. Tatsu Waipu is the mangaka. I can't even keep a straight face saying the mangaka's name. I'm so sorry about that. And Monster Musume, I Heart Monster Girls Volume 6 is coming out that week. Now, I don't put every manga out there. I just pick and choose some of the ones I'm interested in or some of the ones that my viewers are huge fans of. So please just keep that in mind as I go through the manga that I have on this list. From other publishers, we have Amazing Spider-Man Classic Newspaper Strips. This is 1977 from Clover Press. But also 1978, Stan Lee, John Romita, $29.99. Those books are awesome. I think there were some delays with 77. Not sure if 78 will have the same delays. The Art of Gaming is coming out in a trade paperback format from Magnetic Press. We are getting Casa Grandes, Volume 9, Pepper's Primavera. And that is coming out in a hardcover. And it is coming out in a trade paperback. The hardcover is $14.99. The trade paperback $9.99. And that's from the world of... from Paper Cuts. Charlie's War by Joe Collion Apex Edition is coming out. This is Joe Colquhoun and Pat Mills, $140 coming out that week from the folks at Rebellion 2000 AD. And we are getting Detective Kaiju Volume 1. There's 2 covers. Cover A by Kit Wallace. And let me make sure that I give credit where credit is due. And we're also getting cover B by John Somariva. Love that guy's artwork, by the way. This one looks to be being published by Magnetic Press. We're also getting the Flash Gordon hardcover Volume 2, Deluxe Edition from the folks at Mad Cave. Man, I love Flash Jordan. Flash Jordan, who the hell is that? Is that Flash Gordon's cousin? Woo, last week. Almost there. Keep it together, Uncanny Omar. No, this series has been great. I love this new incarnation of these characters. The classic stuff has been awesome too. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of the classic stuff. Working on my next video for that. But this is collecting issues 6 through 10. $29.99. Jeremy Adams, Will Conrad. I've read the stuff already in trade paperback edition. A lot of the things they're doing over there, whether it's Gotcha Man, whether it's this or Dick Tracy, just been killing it. Marvel Creator Collection Volume 1, Back to the Savage Land, Barry Windsor Smith at Marvel. This is another one that is a very interesting collection to me because it's creator-centric books that they're doing, which is something similar that Marvel had done in the past with their trade paperbacks. It's getting into some obscure Barry Windsor Smith stuff, and it's just Volume 1. I believe they said there's going to be a total of 3 covers. I've already filmed my overview. I was just waiting until we get closer and closer to release date. I may release it here in the next week or so, though. It is a very interesting book, and one that I'm curious why Marvel never did. Night Eaters Volume 2 is coming out. Her Little Reapers. And this is being published by the folks at Abrams Arts. And it is, I believe, I want to say it is the same team as Monstrous. Yeah, Marjorie Liu, Sana Takeda, $19.99. And we're also getting Night Mother Volume 2 coming out that same week. And that one is being published by the folks at Oni Press, Jeremy Lambert, Alex Sharp. We are getting the Reincarnation stories coming out in a trade paperback edition. And this one is by Kim Deitch, being published by the folks at Fanic Graphics. We are getting the 6 Gun Battle for 6 coming out in a trade paperback. This is by Cullen Bunn and Brian Hurt. What is this? So this is a new series? Huh. Battle for the 6, 1 through 3, plus 3 prelude short stories from the 6 Gun Road to the 6, number 0. $24.99. Oh, I'm in. I love 6 Gun. Good for Oni Press to continue that. Good for Cullen Bunn. Soviet Land is coming out in a hardcover format. And that's by Abrams Books by Pierre-Henri Gaumont. And also that same week of the month, we are getting Speed Racer Adventures coming out in a hardcover format for $17.99 and a trade paperback for $12.99. Franco and Derek Charm, and both of them being published by, of course, Paper Cuts. Star Wars hardcover Galactic Drinks is coming out that same week, as well as Star Wars The Mandalorian Guided Journal coming out that same week. Team Unihorn is coming out that very same week. Trade paperback volume 4. And we are getting Travis Munoz and the Fire of the Aztecs book 1 coming out that week. And that one is being published by the folks at, let's see, does it say? Nope. It's by Mark Stack and Ann Marcano. Carla Zuza presents, okay? And that one is $19.99. We are getting Underworld Collection Volume 1. And this one is a hardcover edition from the folks at Mad Cave. Mark London's Underworld, all collected in a hardcover edition. Carlos Reno Danillo and Tom Derenick, Chris Weston, $39.99. Walt Disney's Mickey Mouse versus the Mouston Society of Evil hardcover is coming out that week. And that is being published by the folks at Fanic Graphics, Nicolas Pothier and Johan Pilet. And Warwolf is coming out in a trade paperback edition, published by the folks at Mad Cave, Steve Orlando, Marco Perugini, $17.99 for that particular book. And if you're interested in purchasing any of the books I talked about, check out our sponsor, CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And those were the books that were coming out in April of 2026. In the comments down below, let me know which books you're picking up. Again, the written documentation can be found on our Patreon. If you have any questions, leave your questions down below. Don't forget to smash that like button. Come back on Sunday when I go over my top 10. Come back every day. Like I said, tomorrow at 12 p.m. is our live stream for the indie solicitations for June of 2026. But that is it, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Hit that like button on the way out. Check us out on Patreon, Spreadshop. Amazing ways to support the channel. I'm out of here. Much love.